Hey, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for clicking on this video. Today I have done my full glam makeup tutorial. This is the makeup I would typically wear if I'm going out for the night or going to an event or something like that. I also just quickly wanted to say thank you so much for 1,000 subscribers. I hit that goal over the holidays. I'm so grateful and so thankful for all of you that subscribe and watch my videos. Thank you so much. So if you liked today's video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to see how to get this look here, then keep on watching. Okay, so I already prepped and moisturized my face. I used bio oil and the First Aid Beauty moisturizer. So now I'm just going to clip my hair back using these two hair clips. Actually, I don't know, I think I might have to put my hair back. So the primer I'm starting out with is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I like to just put this in my T-zone where my pores are the largest, and I'll just run it in circular motion so it really fills the area. Next, I'm going to be using my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter, and I'm just placing this on the high points of my face. This is the first time doing my makeup in about 2 weeks since I was sick. Foundation, I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation, and I just like to put it on the back of any product. Okay, so 2 pumps of that, and then I'm just using my e.l.f. buffing foundation brush, and I'm going to start in the center of my face, tapping it in so the product really is focused on this area instead of brushing it around and diffusing it. I really want it to be full coverage, so I'm gonna do that, and then I'll bring it out to the cheek. So what I really like about this foundation is how buildable it is. This is my first layer and it is so full coverage. I usually will go in with a second layer, but I'll do that with my beauty blender so it's really pressing it in. Then I still have a little bit left of that 2 pumps, so I'm just gonna directly go in with my beauty blender on that. I'm gonna tap this and kind of do my like rolling pressing motions. I need to be more delicate with my skin as well because I feel like I'm really rough when I'm doing this. And then I'll just spend a few minutes blending this out with my beauty blender just to make sure it's really melted into the skin. Okay, once that is all blended in, I will be moving on to concealer. Today I'm just using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade 20S. I like to use just a little bit of this because it is super full coverage. So I'm going to be placing this under my eye, on the side, down beside the nose, center of the forehead, oops, down the nose, above the lip. And then I am going to use a brush to blend this out first. I'm going to be using the e.l.f. small stipple brush to blend this out. So I'm going to start by just tapping it, and tapping the product where you applied it will just really keep the product where you want it. I like starting like top, bottom, and then work my way to the eyes. I like doing the eyes last. I don't know why, I just always have done that. And then I start like cheek area. It's just really gonna target where we want this, and it will look splotchy. That's why I like going over with my beauty blender afterwards. It's just to really blend that out. And then I'll switch back over to my beauty blender and I'll just go over the areas where I put that concealer. This is just really going to melt it and blend it. Now moving on to my cream bronzer to bring life back to my face. I feel a little pale. I'm going to be using the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. Okay, so I just like to apply this in kind of like stippling motions. So I'm just kind of stippling this onto the face, not rubbing it because I don't want to take off any product. So I'll put it on my cheeks, forehead, a little down the sides of the nose. I don't like to put too much down the sides. A little underneath the nose, under the lip, and then on the jawline. And then I actually do use a different beauty blender for this just because I don't like having the darker product on my foundation one. And I start by just tapping this in. I like using a concealer when I'm doing my full coverage looks because it just adds more coverage to my face. Okay, I think I did a little bit too much on my nose. I went a little too overboard. And then when I do my neck, I just kind of like run it back and forth just because I don't have time. Then I'll just kind of go over with the remainder on like my cheek area, just so it really helps warm up the face. I'm gonna go in with my concealer sponge and just kind of tap on the sides of the nose where maybe my contour color went a little crazy. I am gonna add a little bit more concealer. I'm gonna go in with my Instant Age Rewind Concealer in the light shade now. Then I'm just gonna blend that right away. And then actually I'll maybe just blend down the nose. Okay, then I'm just gonna take the side that I did the foundation on, the bottom of it, and just go over the whole face just to make sure that the contour color is blended nicely with my concealer. So the powder I use all the time now is the Fenty Beauty loose powder in the shade Butter, but for Christmas I got the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish powder, this one here. So I don't know which one I'm gonna use. I think I'm gonna use my Fenty one directly under my eyes because it does really soften and brighten up my under eye. And then I think I'll use the Charlotte Tilbury for around the rest of my face. And I love this. It smells like perfume to me, but not like too overpowering. It's just really nice. So I'm just gonna directly apply this under my eyes, and I'm kind of just stamping it on so it can sit and almost bake. And then I'll just kind of put a little bit over my eyelids. So I'm leaving that powder on my under eyes for a second. I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury powder. This is in the shade 2 medium. So I'm just gonna use it on this Morphe M501 brush. And I'm just gonna use a little bit in my T-zone just to set that because I don't want to be too oily today. So I'm gonna use my sponge. I'm just gonna dip a little bit in like this on my sponge and then just apply this all over my face for a full powder. I don't know what is in this powder, but it is insane. It honestly covered my texture. Like I had a lot of texture, or I thought I did. And then I'm just gonna kind of pat over where I had that translucent powder baking. I'm gonna actually go ahead and do my eyes. I'm gonna be using my Kylie palette. This is the bronze palette. They're just really neutral shades. You can even use your bronzer or eyeshadow. I usually use the Hoola bronzer. Then I'm just gonna be using a Morphe M441 brush. I'm gonna start with the shade Topaz. It's just a light brown, and I'm just going to sweep this in the crease. I was thinking of maybe starting like a beginner's how-to series, maybe how to do easy eye makeup, how to do your brows, how to do concealer, like just a very in-depth tutorial for specific things. If you would like to see that, let me know down below. When I get to the outer corner of my eye, I'm just gonna kind of start dragging it upwards towards my eyebrow, and then I'm going to take a warmer brown shade, so the one below it here, this is the shade Tiger Eye. So I'm just going to use a little bit of that and just kind of go over actually like my whole lid. So from lid to crease, I'm just going to be using this. I'm going to actually take my Hoola bronzer and a little bit of a fluffier brush, Zoeva 221 brush, and I'm just going to run this all over lid to crease, just over that color that I just did, because I feel like this color kind of make it look prettier. And then I'm going to go back in with my Kylie palette and take a little bit of this dark brown shade here. This is Bronzite, and I'm going to apply this all the way on my lid up to my crease, not going higher than that. I'm just gonna leave it like that, and then I'm just gonna go over a little bit higher towards the brow bone just to really blend. Then I'm gonna take my Hoola bronzer and this Zoeva Luxe Smoky Shader brush, just more of a flat angled brush, and I'm gonna be applying this underneath and kind of dragging it upwards to have that sort of shape. And then I'm gonna take a pencil brush and I'm gonna be using this on my under eye. I just feel like it gives more of a precise application. I think I'm gonna add a little bit of a wing, so I'm just gonna be using the dark brown shade. I'll just kind of flick out from the corner of my lash line for a little extension there. I'm just gonna go blend over that with a fluffy brush just to make sure it's all blended nicely. And I'm also gonna take that just underneath my eyes. To get rid of the fallout, you just take a brush and flick. You don't want to put a lot of pressure. You don't want to press the brush onto your face like this. You want to just quickly drag and swipe. Then I'm gonna do my eyebrows. This is the NYX brow pencil in the shade Taupe. I'll just start by running the brow pencil back and forth underneath the whole brow, just to really create that shape. My hands are shaking so bad that I can't even see into my mirror right now, so I'm just gonna lean forward, sorry. And then I'm just gonna run it through the whole brow. I don't really like to spend a lot of time on my eyebrows, and then when I get to the top, I only really do the arch. So just correcting that shape back and forth. It's always just back and forth motions, and then brush it upwards. And then you can see if there's any more sparse areas. I feel like I look crazy without having any like eyelashes on right now. Kind of feel like, what's his name? Uncle Fester from Addams Family. That's how I'm feeling right now. It's like dark eyes. Now I will move on to eyelashes. I'm gonna do them off camera, so I'll just show you what I'm using. I'm gonna be using the L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara, the Kiss 01s. I usually use the Kiss 01s, but I cut my last ones, so these are them uncut. Okay, so I'm gonna go apply those and then I'll be right back. These lashes are long and crazy. I haven't worn lashes like these in so long, but I kind of love them. I actually used to get eyelash extensions and they were like this long. I could never imagine having that now. And I just put on a little bit of this Clarins Lip Comfort Oil. This is in the shade Honey. I love this lip oil. It is so nourishing and it makes my lips look so juicy and glossy. Oh my god, my lashes, they're like tickling my eyebrow. They're long. We'll be using my Hoola bronzer by Benefit and this Zoeva Luxe Cheek Finish brush. Just applying this to the backs of my cheekbones, stippling this in. And then just kind of lightly dusting over the top so there's not a harsh line. And then when I go over the forehead, I just kind of run it back and forth. I'm not really stippling because I don't feel the need to. If you put on too much, like I just did, I'm gonna use my Hoola brush that came with the bronzer just to blend it out. You can use any like fluffier brush. And then I have a little mini Hoola brush that I use for my nose. I will just apply this down the sides of my nose just to get a really nice contour along the bottom of my nose. Next, for blush, I'll just be using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Blush Trio in the shade Peachy Love. I'm going to be using these two here because this one is shimmery and I don't really want shimmer today. Just tapping this onto my cheekbones, and then I'm bringing it all the way actually up to the back of my cheekbone, applying a bit over my nose, smiling, and then bringing a little bit more on my cheekbones. Next, for highlighter, I'm going to be using the Mary Luminizer by The Balm, a really pretty golden kind of shimmer shade, and I'm going to be using my Real Technique setting brush. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of this to the backs of the cheekbones, not too much. And then I use my finger for my nose and I'll do a little dot on the tip of the nose and then run a little bit up there. Just kind of all over for a nice little glow. I don't usually do bottom mascara, but I kind of feel like adding it just for fun. Looking downwards like this and then just applying a little bit. I don't really like a lot of under eye mascara. I'm gonna do a little baking underneath my contour Wet n Wild contouring palette, the banana shade of it, with my little powder puff. And then I'll just apply a light line underneath where I contoured. And then I actually like to do a little bit down the sides of my nose. This little triangle area here, I just apply it. I think it just adds a little bit more dimension back to my face. I'm just gonna be using a lip liner and then I'm gonna be going over again with my lip oil. The lip liner I'm using today is the Kylie lip liner in Au Naturel. So I'm just gonna apply this all over my lips. I'm gonna add a little black close to my waterline, I think. I've never done that before. I'm feeling a little crazy. Usually I'll use like a tiny brush, but I don't have one, so I'm just gonna be using, I don't ever wear eyeliner on the bottom, let alone mascara. Like I don't do anything to my under eyes, and today I just kind of felt the need to put that on. Now I'm just going to wipe away my bake. I'm just gonna add a little bit more bronzer to the face just because I feel like now that I have black on my under eyes, like it just kind of washed my face out. So I'm just using a little bit of my lip oil in the shade Honey. Honey, I'm just tapping this on. Okay, so that is all for today's tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. I had so much fun doing this. I haven't done my makeup in about 2 weeks, so it was a lot of fun just sitting here and getting ready. If you enjoyed today's tutorial, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. And let me know down below if you have any other video recommendations for me. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in my next video. Bye.